Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 from the 24.
Dawson Mary.
Jeremiah Penny on the pitch around left end for a first down. Stopped by number 1, Michael Landry. 1st and 10 Saints from their 47. Carroll on the carry-off right tackle. Stopped by number 59, Zechariah Pombo. Gain of 10, first down Saints from the Tigers 43. Touchdown Saints! Sean Carroll, 43 yards.
So sorry about that, folks. We are back. What you missed, Sean Carroll just rushed for his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Siebold's extra point is good with 10 minutes and 54 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Saints 24, Tigers 7.
So in a drive that took less than 2 minutes off the clock, the Saints tack on 7 more. It's 24-7. Carroll punches in his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. Saints have 3 touchdowns. All 3 of them have come from Carroll.
Siebold to kick off for the Saints, deep for the Tigers. Number 6, Thomas Hoskins, and 17, Ben Dalkey.
So 10:54 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Saints lead out to 24-7 now as the Tigers get the ball back. This kick is away. It will be fielded by Hoskins inside the 10. Now looking to run it back. He had a burst of speed there and
Hoskins
is brought
on the
down.
Return for the Tigers.
All right, folks, back into the swing.
28, Owen Charlton.
10:49 to go, 24-7 the score. Tigers will get their first drive here of the half, trailing by 17.
1st and 10 Tigers
A
from
flurry
their
of
21.
turnovers and a missed 40-yard field goal by Blue Valley to end the first half. Could have got them to a 7-point game to finish the half. Instead, the field goal went wide left, and Blue Valley now trails it by 17. Brush on first down, pitches to Rudman. Rudman's got some room on the edge. Spun down there, gain of 3 on first down.
Number 27, Max Rudman on the carry around left end.
10:35 to go. It'll be 2nd and
Marshall.
7 now here for the Tigers. So Blue Valley didn't run it much in the first half. They opened the second half with a handoff to Rudman on first down. Certainly a big spot here for the Tigers. A 3-possession game. They're down 17. Still early here in the second half. Over 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. But Blue Valley would like to have a scoring drive here if they have hopes of getting back into the game.
Rush swing pass to 27 Rudman, complete for a short gain.
Completion there to
Picker on
Rudman,
the stop
good
the
for
Saints.
around 3 yards again, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 4 now here for the Tigers on their opening drive.
4-yard gain to the 27, 3rd and 4.
Big 3rd down here for the Tigers. Brush and the Tigers have been looking to the sideline for a good amount of time, play clock under 10. rush. Another swing pass in and out of the hands of Rudman and incomplete. So they tried to go to Rudman twice there in the air on that drive, and they gave it to him once on the ground. Rudman unable to get it done on the opening drive of the half for the Tigers, so after yielding a touchdown to go down 7, Blue Valley will go 3 and out, and they punt the football back to the potent offense of Aquinas. 9:30 to go, Will Stroud in punt formation. His last punt, good for 50 yards. A good Blue Valley roll on his last punt. We'll see how far he can get this one. Stroud deep and in the air. This one heading over the head and bouncing now. This one is going to reach the end zone. It stops short down at the 1 and just saved one of the best punts we've seen all year by Will Stroud.
And what an unbelievable boot from Will Stroud there, completely flipping the field. And great special teams coverage there to get down near the ball, but I don't think it needed to be. Stroud just hit it immediately to that 1 yard line.
That was the best possible punt in that situation. He didn't even have to have anybody down it inside the 1. 72-yard punt there from Will Stroud, and the ball just spun perfectly to come back inside the 1. It looked like it was going to get to the end zone, no doubt about it, and then it just stopped short down at the 1. Certainly the best Stroud punt we've seen all year, and he is having himself a game. A 50-yard punt earlier, that one good for 72. And the punter for Blue Valley making a big difference here in the half. Carry there for Carroll, good for just a couple. Second down.
Carroll on the carry on the right side for a short gain.
Stroud came into this game averaging, I believe, 30 yards per punt. Already tonight we've seen 50 and 72. 2nd and 7. This is going to be another handoff, and it'll be a fake there. Skinner kept it on the outside, now across the 20, 25, 30. And Robert Marshall finally brings him down.
30,
a huge carry there.
Right in for a big game.
Had me fooled. I thought it went to Carroll up the middle. Skinner kept it on the outside and then pitched it to his back. And he got all the way down into the middle of the field before Robert Marshall could finally bring him down. Good for a first down. And now the Saints have got themselves some breathing room. The drive began at the 1. They've got it all the way out to the 37. 1st and 10. Skinner fakes the handoff again, pitches it again. Nearly the same play and more room to run. Another first down.
Pitch around right in for another Saints first down into
Jack
Tigers
Forney
territory.
on back-to-back carries has back-to-back chunks. 2 first downs there by the Saints. Skinner has pitched it to Forney on back-to-back plays, and the Tigers haven't had an answer.
From the Tigers
Under 9 minutes now. Third quarter, Saints driving again. The lead is already 3 possessions at 24-7. This one will be a handoff again to Carroll. Carroll is unfazed by all the Tigers on him. It took 4 Tigers to bring him down there. He ran it right up the middle into a pile of tacklers, and it seemed the pile was just moving as Carroll did. Nobody was able to bring him down till he got into the Tigers secondary, and on their last 3 plays, it's 3 Saints first downs. So 1st and 10 now from inside Tiger territory. Carroll, the give again. Carroll with room, over a man and now down.
Carroll on the carry
just short of the Tiger red zone, will be down at the 21.
This Aquinas offensive line has been very able to get into the open field and block for Sean Carroll, especially with all those big bodies in the open field, including number 23. It's given this Tigers defense a hard time all game.
Matt Siebolt with a good field goal tonight and 3 Sean Carroll rushing touchdowns. He had 3 last week, 40 carries, 233 yards, 3 touchdowns. He has 3 touchdowns already in the game. Skinner now getting loose. Skinner will score! His first rushing touchdown of the game. They've got 4 on the ground. It's their second of this third quarter, and an explosion of Saints rushing offense to begin this second half. With 7:13 to go, Carroll has found the end zone. Skinner has found the end zone. And with this PAT, it'll be a 31-7 Saints lead. A chance for Siebolt to extend it to 24 points early in this third quarter. This offense has really come alive for the Saints. 17-7 was the score at the half, And in less than 5 minutes of football in this third quarter, we've seen 2 Saints touchdowns. 4 on the ground this week.
31, Tigers 7.
Carroll had 3 last week. He's got 3 tonight. Skinner has got himself a rushing touchdown as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more reminder.
The quarterback has been great rushing the football so far tonight. 4 passing attempts, just 1 completion, but rushing the ball, he's been great. A lot of sprint out pitches.
November 12th. Thank you.
Carroll and Skinner have been unstoppable. 31-7, the Saints lead the Tigers. Coming into this game, the Tigers knew that they had their hands full with the Saints, obviously. Tigers suffered a devastating 40-0 loss against Miege 2 weeks ago. And last week, the Saints beat Miege 29-26. Tigers defense in that first half looked like they stacked up well, mounting a couple of stops and only trailing by 10 going into the half, and they had a couple of chances to cut that deficit even to a score. But the Saints on 2 drives have 2 touchdowns to begin this third quarter. 24 points is the Saints lead as the Tigers get the football back in desperation of a score. This one is going to be fielded. It was short of Hoskins, and now with some room to run, and then finally hit and pushed out of bounds there. A flag was down.
It looks like there's going to be a hold on the Tigers here.
Penalty flags on the play.
Likely a hold on Blue Valley. Patrick Dennis, not a normal returner. He brought that one back. It was just in front of Hoskins. Hoskins let him have it, and he's able to return it out across the 30, but there's 2 flags on the field. You'd expect the refs both saw the same thing. They get the Tigers with a hold, decline that penalty, so there were 2 separate penalties, it appears.
Holding against the Tigers is declined. Illegal use of hands is accepted.
So the Tigers are going to be backed up. First down and 10, their second drive of the half. Their first drive ended in a 3-and-out and a 72-yard Will Stroud punt. But that 72-yard punt that pinned Aquinas inside their own 1 didn't matter. The Saints drove 99 yards before Skinner rushed it into the end zone.
And it was Skinner on that play from deep into Saints territory that took it out across the midfield area. Huge, crucial play for them to get it out of their own end zone.
Pistol set here for the Tigers. Blue Valley offense desperate to score. This is a deep pass for Andre, who's open. Davis was wide open past the defense, and Brush just overthrew him. And in the first half, it seemed the Tigers offense was clicking despite only having 7 points. They had a couple of good drives. Now it seems all hope is lost on that sideline, and you can certainly feel the energy has just left the Tigers side of the field. So the Tigers opened the season, their first 2 games, they started 2-0. They scored over 40 points in both of those, and we saw a great Tiger offense to start the field. And now in their last 3 games combined, that includes tonight, they have just 21 points, including a shutout. They have a 40-0 loss, a 14-7 win, and now they trail it 31-7 as Rudman rushes this one out across the numbers. It'll be third down again for the Tigers.
Luke Hancock.
Tigers are going to need to pick up 6 yards here on third down, and if they are unable to do so, it'll be their second 3-and-out of the half in as many drives.
And the Tigers certainly cannot afford another 3-and-out in this game with such a potent running offense. Giovanni Rizzi, Sean Carroll, as well as the quarterback Skinner have been amazing tonight.
We've seen completely opposite sides of the game so far this half. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for the Saints. Tigers' first drive, a 3-and-out, and now they've got their back against the wall. They need 6 yards to prevent their second 3-and-out of the half. Brush, quick throw, caught over the middle, and a massive hit laid on Westfalt, but he pops right back up after picking up the first down. So despite the big hit, the Tigers get the line to gain and get their first out of the half. Westfalt stays in the game. It was a big pop from someone in that Saints secondary, but it doesn't matter. A great catch by Westfalt. 5:55 remaining here in the third quarter. Tigers trail by 24. Davis lined up on the near side of your screen with Ben Dalkey. Harold on the far side, Samuel in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Rudman. Rudman in the backfield again. How many times have we seen that tonight? The Saints defensive front tackle for loss, tackle for loss. It seems to be every other rush. Saints defensive front dominating this game so far. The Tigers were experiencing extreme success in the pass game in the first half. Although they only had one touchdown, they were getting down the field. Saw them in Saints territory numerous times. They just weren't able to finish the job. Now the Tigers seemingly just gasping at any bit of offense they can get. Westphal comes in motion. Brush now looking to throw, looking Westphal's way. He fires to Westphal down the field and incomplete over the head of the Aquinas defender. That one was almost intercepted again. Tigers have taken 2 shots so far this game, one for Davis, one for Westphal. They haven't been able to connect, and in that first half of play, we saw the Tigers connect on plays like that. Certainly the momentum playing a factor. Plays Blue Valley had in that first half just aren't seeming to work now. 4:58 to go, 31-7 the score. Later stages of this third quarter, and if the Tigers want to mount a comeback, it's gonna have to start now. Right here on this drive, the Tigers need 7. Brush rolling out to his right. A flag is down. You'd expect a hold, and it's in and out of the hands of Westphal. So we've seen him make a couple of great catches tonight. We've seen the ball drop in and out of his hands a few times. And on third down, it's a holding call there on Blue Valley. Refs having a chat about what the call will be. It was on the backside of the play. Brush rolled out to his right, and they do get the Tigers with a hold. The penalty is declined, and it forces 4th down, and the punt unit back out onto the field. 2 drives, 2 punts now for Blue Valley here in the half. 4th and 11 is what the Tigers are staring down. Will Stroud back out onto the field, and he might be one of the only Tigers having a real career night. A 50 and 72-yard punt for Will Stroud on his last 2 punts.
Number 2, Blake O'Brien.
O'Brien lining up 10 yards deeper than he did on the last one after seeing the ball sky over his head on the last punt. This punt by Stroud is another good one. Will be fielded right at the 30 where O'Brien was lined up. O'Brien gets around a tackler. O'Brien's got room on the edge and finally spun down there by Alec Womble at the 45. O'Brien returned that one 15 yards. It was fielded at the 30. Will Stroud with another good distance punt there. And now the Tigers defense back out onto the field. The defense for the Tigers so far has yielded 2 rushing touchdowns in the half. They yielded 3 in the first half.
You do have to say that this Aquinas rushing attack has worn on the Tigers defense all game. They did so well early against Sean Carroll, but now it just seems like he can run whenever he wants.
Here's a pitch outside. This one's fielded by Rizzi. Pushed out of bounds by Preston Scott there. Pickup of 5 on first down.
Rizzi on the pitch around left end.
4 rushing touchdowns on the night for the Saints. They rushed for 5 touchdowns at one point earlier in the season, so they're 1 away from tying a team high total on the season. Skinner lines up under center like we've seen him all game. No shotgun snaps yet for the Saints. Rizzi still in the backfield. Skinner takes it himself. They fake the pitch to Rizzi, and Skinner falls down over a tackler. That was Preston Scott again, but Skinner had first down yardage, and the Saints moved the chains into Tiger territory. 4:25 remaining here in the third quarter. Saints are driving again. Third drive of this half for the Saints. They've been in Blue Valley territory now in each of those 3 drives. Skinner with a pitch at the last second to Rizzi. Rizzi now looking for an edge.
Gianni Rizzi.
Pickup of 7 there on first down. Saints just have, it seems like, oh, you know they're going to run it every time, and it seems like you know exactly what they're going to do, but you never know how they're going to run it. They can give it to Carroll up the middle. They can give it to Skinner on a direct snap, or they can have Skinner run it out to the side, pitch it to somebody. They just have all sorts of looks despite running the ball on a majority of their snaps. So now on 2nd and 3, they fake the handoff up the middle and then give it to the backside man. Jack Forgy there.
Jack
He's short
Forgy,
of first
number
down
30 on
yardage,
the
but
carry for
he's
the
got a
Saints.
carry of 2, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 1.
59, Zechariah Pombo on the stop. 3rd and 2 from the 36.
3rd down with just a yard to go. You'd expect it to be 4-down territory if they can't pick this one up. They give it to Rizzi. He's met around first down yardage.
Rizzi
they will
on the
give it to
carry-out
him.
right
So
tackle.
on 3rd and 1,
First down,
they
Saints.
pick up the first down. And with 2:58 to go, Saints are continuing to roll here in this 3rd quarter.
This has to be
and 10
just
from the
exhausting for
Tigers,
this defense
34.
every time they run this ball, having to track who it is, if it's number 6, if it's number 23, or even the quarterback.
In the entire first half of play, just 2 touchdowns for the Saints. Already in this 3rd quarter, it took them just 5 minutes to rush for 2. This one goes to Jeremiah Penny, and the ball on the ground.
Left end.
So we've seen Penny drop a couple of balls, but none of them have
Stopped by 9.
been
McGuire
into
Richmond.
Tiger hands, and that one was well after he was down. Penny goes for
Gain
8
of
yards
7 to
there.
the 27. 2nd and 3.
2nd down and 3 now for the Saints inside the Tiger 30 at the 27. Skinner under center, Rizzi still in the backfield. We haven't seen as much of Sean Carroll as we expected. He got 40 carries in last week's game. Rizzi gets the toss here to the outside. Burrows misses a tackle. Now into the secondary. Rizzi is brought down by the last man, McGuire Richmond.
Game for the Saints.
Richmond saved a touchdown with that tackle, but it's still a pickup of over 15 yards and a first down. So 1st down and 10 from just outside the Tigers' 10. I believe they've got him marked down at the 13. They've got him spotted now at the 12. 1st and 10, 1:55 to go left in this 3rd quarter, and this 2nd half has been all Saints so far. Three in the backfield with Skinner, who is under center. Skinner gives it to Rizzi, and Rizzi is brought down immediately. Give him
Rizzi
2
on the
yards
carry
there.
across the
Now they'll
10-yard
mark
line.
him down at the 9.
Stopped by 90.
2nd
Lincoln
down and
Stupid.
7. 1:25 now remaining here in this 3rd quarter.
Gain of 3 to the 9. 2nd and 7.
Looked like we were going to have a good game in that first half. It was back and forth. The Tigers stayed in it. They were battling. They had a chance before the half came to a close to cut it to a score. Now we've seen the Saints step up to another level. Seen the Tigers maybe just lose a little bit of that confidence. We saw them do it in the opening half, as here's a pitch to Rizzi, and he's brought down at the
Rizzi on
1,
the
just
pitch
short of the
around right
end
in.
zone. 4 rushing touchdowns tonight for the Saints, 3 of them by Carroll,
Stopped by the
1 of them by
Tigers, Jason
Skinner.
Burrows.
They've rushed for 5 at one point on the year. They're looking to tie their season high. Carroll's staying out of the game, maybe trying to
From the 2.
protect his legs as he carried it 40 times last week. We'll see what they do here from the Tiger 2-yard line on 1st and goal. They hand it off. Rizzi, a flag is down as he walks into the end zone,
Flags on the
and it'll be a
field.
false start, and that'll move him from the 2 to the 7.
Illegal
So
procedure
1st
against
and
the
goal
Saints.
from the 7 now from the
The
Saints.
5-yard penalty moves the ball to the 7.
The
1st and
Saints
goal.
almost had their 3rd rusher to find the end zone. Looks like they're showing us a heavy dose of Rizzi right now. They want to get him in. See what they do now, 5 yards back. 1st down and goal from the 7. Under 30 seconds to go left in the 3rd quarter. Forgy goes in motion. Now Skinner looks to the sideline. Play clock, under 5. Skinner gets it off, hands it off. Rizzi, he needs 7, and
Gianni
he'll get
Rizzi on
inside the
carry.
5, but there will be no house call on 1st down. That'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter, so with only 12 minutes of football to play, it's a 24-point Tiger deficit, 31-7 the score,
At the end
and
of
the
the
Saints
3rd
have
quarter,
dominated
Saints
the
31,
2nd half so
Tigers
far.
7.
And definitely a game of momentum so far in this one. Tigers' heads definitely starting to drop here as this game wears on, and it's definitely because of these 3 to 4 yard pickups that the Saints have been getting every single down. Such a demoralizing thing for this defense to chase all game.
And that first half, we really saw the Tigers battle the Saints, and it looked like it was going to be a great game heading into the second half, and the Tigers even had a chance to cut it to a one-score lead. But instead, the Saints storm out of the locker room to begin the second half, and they outscored the Tigers 14-0 in that half. 31-7 the score.
Or you might be in trouble.
Blue Valley had it tied at 7 apiece after the Saints went down on their opening drive and scored a touchdown. Blue Valley answered, and it looked like we were going to be in for a good game, a high offensive game. Touchdowns by both teams in that first quarter. The Tigers haven't seen the end zone since, and the Saints, that's just about all they've done is march their way down into the end zone. 4 rushing touchdowns and a field goal to account for the Saints' 31-7 lead. 12 minutes of football left to play. The Saints will have second and goal from the Tiger 4-yard line. Saints looking to match a season-high total tonight if they can rush it in for the 5th time. You'd expect Rizzi to get the carry here. He would be the 3rd unique Saint to score if he can find the end zone. They don't give it to Rizzi. It's an outside pitch and into the end zone for the touchdown. Gabriel Slaughter.
Number 26, Gabriel Slaughter, 4 yards.
First time we've called Slaughter's name all night, and it's on a house call. Slaughter rushes it in from 4 yards out, and the Saints now extend their lead even further. This point after could make it a 31-point game. It was a 10-point game going into the half, and the Tigers missed a field goal that would have cut it to 7. And now, all of a sudden, with 4 seconds gone from this fourth quarter clock, the Tigers find themselves trailing by 31.
Seabolt's extra point is no good.
So it's actually going to remain at 30 as the extra point is missed. But 37-7 nonetheless, and the Tigers haven't found the end zone since that first quarter. They began the year with what looked like was going to be such a high-powered offense. First 2 weeks over 40 points, and in the last 3 weeks combined, a shutout, a 14-7 win, and now just 7 points again tonight. 21 combined points in their last 3 games after starting the season with over 80 points in their first 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winning ticket for tonight's 50-50 raffle.
11:56 left here in the final quarter.
The winning ticket is 512-31.
So the Tigers were outscored 14-0 in the third quarter, and 4 seconds into the fourth quarter, they've already been outscored 7-0, but they will get the ball for the first time of this final quarter of play. Blue Valley certainly did not come out of the locker room like they would have hoped. Now they find themselves down by 30.
Seabolt to kick off for the Saints.
Seabolt's kick is away, and this is a good one. Will likely reach the end zone, and it will. So a touchback for the Tigers. They'll begin their drive from the 20. 2 drives for Blue Valley so far this half. We've seen 2 punts. Blue Valley hasn't crossed the 50 yet this half. See if this will be the drive when they can get something going. Saw the Tigers do it on just about every drive of their first half, and it seems maybe just the mindset changed or their momentum. Tigers have lost confidence. 37-7 the score as Blue Valley gets the football back in this final quarter of play. Brush puts Dalkey in motion from left to right. Brush will pitch this one to Rudman. Rudman looking for room on the edge, and again, another loss on a handoff.
Number 27, Max Rudman on the carry around right in.
So it'll be 2nd down and 11 now. Rudman loses a yard there on first.
And the Tigers really trying to implement a lot more rushes in this offense. It hasn't been working so far in this second half. So we're going to definitely start to see some passes if the Tigers are going to want to eat away this lead.
When we saw the Tigers throwing the ball with Will going with 5 wide sets, they were doing great offensively in that first half, and now the second half, on their last drive at least, they handed it off once, and the other 2 were bubble screens to the running back out of the backfield. Now Brush pumps, fires, intercepted. That one's not going to be Trevor's fault. It was off the hands of Gatlin Samuel, but it's picked off by Dylan Marshall. That's not Marshall's first of the season. He's done it a number of times. He finds himself in the right spot at the right time as it goes off the hands of Samuel and into the arms of Marshall. So the Saints will take over again inside Tiger territory. In the red zone, they'll begin this drive from the 19. Blue Valley just can't quite get anything going. And now Brush with 9 touchdowns on the year, 12 interceptions. Second interception of the game for Brush. 7 weeks into the season, we've seen 9 touchdowns, 12 picks from Brush. That one not his fault. Hit his receiver in the hands. First down handoff will be good for a couple of yards. And now we see the backup quarterback in. It's not Skinner anymore. It's Dylan Webb. And we've seen Webb in a number of times this season. Had a couple of passes in previous games for the Saints. He's certainly a serviceable backup.
That carry was by number 31, Nathan
I
Phillips.
highly doubt we see Skinner or Carroll again in this game. Skinner and Carroll were basically the Saints' unstoppable players so far tonight. And with a comfortable 30-point lead with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, neither of those players on the field. Whistles down as the new running back will be Nathan Phillips, the sophomore. That's number 31 who lined up in the backfield. So Dylan Webb, Nathan Phillips, all getting some carries here late in the game. 10:28 to go in the fourth quarter. That penalty will back them up now, 2nd and 11. Webb under center, Phillips remains in the backfield. Sophomore Nathan Phillips, he's gotten a couple of carries in games earlier this season. That one's down to the 15, a pickup of 5.
Nathan Phillips.
So it'll now be 3rd down and 5.
5-yard gain to the 15.
So the line to gain is the 9. It's 3rd and 6. Under 10 minutes at 9:40 to play here in the final quarter. Time winding down here. We see the Saints giving some new players opportunities. I'm sure the Tigers don't expect to make a comeback here, but now here's a pitch play from Skinner. He's tripped up in the backfield, and the Tigers certainly aren't going to quit, as that one's a loss of 5, and it's a flag after the play. Looked like that one was on either Michael Andry or Braden Injewell. It seemed Injewell came up to Andry after the flag was thrown, but those two were certainly in the area. And when the Tigers get a big 3rd down stop, a loss of 5 on 3rd down there would have forced 4th and about 11. Likely an unsportsmanlike penalty that'll move the chains. Likely a 15-yard penalty, but with how close they are, could end up being half the distance of the goal. Regardless, it would have been 4th down. That's going to move the chains. Unsportsmanlike on the Tigers.
Conduct on the Tigers.
Still not sure if it was Andry or Injewell. Seemed Injewell was trying to take Andry out of the play, but both of them were in the area. And regardless, when the Tigers get what would have been their first stop of the half, it's a penalty after the whistle.
4th and short for the Saints.
They're going to say it's still 4th and 1, so unsportsmanlike isn't an automatic 1st down. Hand off to the sophomore Phillips, and he picks it up anyway. Only needed a yard, and he's well inside the 10.
Nathan Phillips on the carry for the Saints.
So just over 9 minutes remaining now in the final quarter, and a fresh set of downs. 1st and goal here for the Saints.
1st and goal Saints from the 8.
Tigers in a scoring drought of 3 quarters of football. Under 9 minutes to go. Sophomore Phillips remains in the backfield. We'll see if he'll get the carry here on 1st and goal. He will up the middle. Tigers swarm him there. It'll be good for a pickup of about a yard. Second down and goal now from the 8. 8 minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
To the 7.
Blue Valley's defense going to try and get their first stop of the half. They had it. The unsportsmanlike conduct penalty moved it to 4th and 1. Certainly much more manageable for the Saints. Phillips lines up in the backfield. He'll fake the carry. Now they give it to Middendorf on the outside, inside the 5, and he stopped just shy of the end zone. Gavin Middendorf, that's his first carry of the game. Middendorf all the way down inside the Tiger 5. They'll spot him at the 2, so 3rd and goal from the Tiger 2-yard line. 8:07 to play.
3rd and goal from the 2.
It'll be the quarterback on a design QB drop the middle. They say he didn't get there. Dylan Webb. We've seen Skinner do that multiple times tonight. Just take the snap and rush it right up the middle. Webb tried to do the same. The Tigers stop him short. And on 4th and goal from the 1, the Saints are going to go for it. Second 4th and 1 of the drive. 7:40 to go. 4th and goal from the 1. Already 5 rushing touchdowns tonight. This would be their season high if they can punch it in here. They hand it off to Phillips, and he is in. Touchdown! So the sophomore finds the end zone. Rushing touchdown number 6 on the game.
1 yard.
Nathan Phillips has found the end zone. Skinner has found the end zone. Sean Carroll has found the end zone, and Gabriel Slaughter has found the end zone. Saints now lead it 43-7.
On to attempt the extra point.
Point after would make it a 34-point game.
And many different Saints getting in on the act here late in this game, especially the backups, names that you don't normally hear for this St. Thomas Aquinas team, getting into the end zone and padding those stats up at the end of this one here.
Saints really just came out and won this game in the second half. It was a close game
Timeout,
going into the halftime locker room.
First of this half.
And the Saints call it timeout before the point after. It was 17-7. 17-7 when we went to the half, and the Tigers had a chance to at least make that 17-10 after that field goal that they couldn't quite convert on. And now it's gone from 17-7 to 43-7.
3-5. Please come to
an impressive second half from the Saints and an underwhelming second half from the Tigers. Certainly not what they wanted to do when they came out of the locker room.
3-5.
Tigers trailed at 7-0, and they tied it at 7 apiece, and now the deficit at 43-7. Tigers have yielded 5 unanswered touchdowns and a field goal. Point after to make it a 34-point game.
Number 19, Charlie Bogan.
Point after is good, and it's 44-7 with 7:22 left to go in regulation.
Saints 44, Tigers 7.
Tigers have seemingly just been given too much to handle in this second half, and Carroll hasn't even played a majority of the snaps. We didn't see Skinner on that drive. They still found the end zone. Haven't seen Carroll since early in this half.
And the Saints definitely replaced a lot of that volume that they usually get to Carroll with Gianni Rizzi tonight. Had a very notable drive on the previous scoring drive before this last one that the Saints had, and a lot of pitches to the outside, and they've been able to work him into this offense very well tonight.
Carroll was the man the Tigers were certainly worried about coming in, and he had 3 touchdowns last week. He does have 3 again this week, but he had 40 carries for 233 last week, and we just haven't seen that kind of portion of him tonight. He certainly hasn't been near that 40 total in carries, but the Saints have found their forms of offense in many other ways. Still obviously all on the ground. Just 4 pass attempts tonight, 1 completion. This one hops, and I believe that's Dawson Merritt. Merritt across the 30 to the 31. 7:18 to go, and the Tigers will get the football
On the
back.
return for the Tigers, number 36, Dawson Merritt.
Tigers looking to end in scoring drought. They haven't scored since early in that first quarter. $7:18 left to go in regulation. Brush and the offense will come back out.
First and 10
When we
Tigers
saw success from the
32.
Tigers, we saw it in the passing game. This second half, we've seen them go with a heavy dosage of the run, and it seems they had forgot what was working when they came out, and then the game just got out of hand. Fakes the handoff. No, he does give it to Rudman. Rudman's got a yard there.
Number 45, Andrew Ham on the stop for the Saints.
2nd down and 9. $6:45 left to go in regulation. Tigers trail 44-7. Dalkey comes in motion left to right. Brush hands it off again to Rudman. So the Tigers have seemingly forgot about the pass game. Rudman there with a good chunk.
Rudman on
7 yards, and it'll
right
bring up 3rd and 1.
That stop made by 29, Trevor Gant.
Probably call it 3rd and 2 and a pickup of 6. Clock winding down, will likely be under 6 minutes before the Tigers can get off their next snap. So we're halfway through the 4th quarter. Tigers seemingly out of it. Play clock now under 5. Brush still looking to the sideline. He's going to have to hurry to get it off. Now down to 2. He does get it off in time. A quick throw on 3rd down. That one is caught, and he's got enough. It's a 1st down. Tigers able to pick it up. That's their 2nd 1st down of the half. That one completed to Thomas Harold.
19, Charlie Bogan with the stop. 1st and 10 Tigers from their 45.
Now 5:45 left in regulation. Tigers pick up their 2nd 1st down of the half and have now moved the ball to the 45-yard line, nearing midfield. They haven't been in Saints territory yet this half. They're 5 yards away. Handoff to Rudman. Rudman across midfield, and the Tigers do find their way into
Max
Aquinas
Rudman
territory, down to the 48-yard line. 2nd down and 3 now here for Blue Valley.
Miles McDaniel.
So the Tigers finally finding some success in the run game. Just one pass on this drive. Came on 3rd down.
And definitely good for the Tigers to get the run going after so much struggle up front earlier with the Saints defensive line able to get into the backfield so often.
So under 5 minutes left to play now. Brush does hand it off again to Rudman. Rudman breaks a few tackles in the backfield and then fights for yardage. He's just short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Good run there by Rudman. He was being swarmed in the backfield, a couple of hands on him. He was able to fight through it and pick up a couple, and now put the Tigers in a good situation here on 3rd down from the Aquinas 46.
3rd and 1 from the 46.
So on the Tigers' first time reaching Saints territory of the half, they've got it to the 46 on 3rd and 1. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to play. Tigers haven't scored since the 1st quarter. We'll see if they can end that drought as the game comes to a close. Rudman, another rush again there. Good for a Tiger 1st down.
Number 27, Rudman on the carry. 1st down Tigers.
Tigers' first sustained drive of this second half. We've seen a number of 3 and outs. They had just 1 1st down entering this drive. Now they've picked up consecutive 1st downs and moved it inside the Saints 45. 1st and 10 from the 44 of Aquinas. 3:55 left to go. Brush looking to throw. Quick pass to Rudman out of the backfield. Rudman's got room now across the 40. Max Rudman inside the 35.
Swing pass to number 27, Max Rudman, driven out of bounds by number 21, Landon Kohler.
So they'll spot Rudman at the 31-yard line, and we have seen Rudman on every play except that 3rd down pass to Harold so far this drive.
1st and 10 from the 32.
So the Tigers letting Rudman get as many touches as he can in before the game comes to a close. 3:42 to go. Another fresh set of downs here for the Tigers. From the 31, it's 1st and 10. Brush takes it himself, and he fakes the pitch. He thought it was going to be a pitch. Now Brush has got room. A first down and more before being pushed out of bounds.
Number 11.
Brush never faked the ball as if he was going to pitch it to Rudman, but with his body language, he eye faked his defender. He thought he was going to pitch it despite him just running directly towards the defender. Never faked the ball. The defender still thought he was going to pitch it to Rudman, and Trevor just kind of walked through that Aquinas defense for a pickup of 15 yards and another Tiger first down. Tigers have only passed once this drive. It was their bread and butter in the first half. They were throwing the football, going 5 wide, and it was seeming to work, and now they're finally getting something going on the ground here in this second half. Too little, too late, though, for Blue Valley. His clock is under 3 minutes, 30 seconds now, and the deficit is far too much. 44-7 the score. Blue Valley will have 2nd down and 9.
Gain of 1 to the
from the 13-yard line. Brush again in the pistol with Rudman right behind him. Brush again, fakes the pitch and now takes it himself. He's hit from behind, but he gets himself inside that 5-yard line. He'll be short of a first down.
Brush on the keeper.
3rd and a yard. Brush got a taste of the end zone in the last game with his first rushing touchdown of the season. Now he's certainly trying to pull that ball down and take it himself more and more, and it's worked. 15 yards on that last rush.
3rd and 3 from the 6-yard line.
That one was good for 8. Brush got a taste for the end zone, and his confidence running the football has grown. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go. 3rd down and 3. Brush hands it off to Rudman. Rudman's got room up the middle, and he has enough for the first down, and it'll be 1st and goal from inside the 5. Clock winds under 2 minutes left to play, but the Tigers have a chance to end that scoring drought. Tigers scored on their 2nd drive of the game. That was all the way back in the 1st quarter, and that score tied the game at 7, and at the time seemed like a big score for the Tigers. Now to this point, the Tigers haven't seen the end zone since. 5 unanswered touchdowns and a field goal for the Saints, and there's whistles now. Offsides on the defense, and the Tigers will move a yard closer, maybe half a yard. They have first and goal from the 1. Gatlin Samuel caught a touchdown in the 1st quarter. If the Tigers can get in here, it would likely be Rudman, but we'll see if they go back to the passing game. 1:40 to go, and that clock is rolling.
First and goal from the 2 for the Tigers.
Tigers came into this one 3-3, the Saints 5-1. Brush for his 2nd rushing touchdown in as many weeks, and the ball comes out, but is recovered in the end zone for a Tiger touchdown.
The ball is recovered in the end zone by the Tigers. Recovered by number 13, Thomas Harold.
So fortunately for the Tigers, this isn't the NFL, because you're not allowed to advance a fumble, I believe, under 2 minutes in the NFL. Brush fumbled at the 1, and they're counting it as a Tiger touchdown in the end zone, despite the fact that they did advance the fumble. Aquinas' coach is fired up on the sideline, certainly angry with the call, despite the fact that it won't prove to matter, as this point after for the Tigers will cut the lead to 30 once again. 1:17 to play as the Tigers in that scoring drought. Thomas Harold will be credited with the touchdown, but he just recovered a fumble in the end zone. Richmond now on for the point after, and that kick is good.
The extra point is good with 1 minute and 17 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Saints 44, Tigers 14.
So the Tigers trail by 30 once again, 1:17 to go, and you'd expect the Saints to run the football a couple of times or drop to a knee and finish this game.
50-50 raffle
The Saints in the second half were just too much for the Tigers. It was a good game when those first 24 minutes of football came to a close, but in this second 24, it was all Aquinas.
And you do have to say that momentum definitely switched after that pick six got turned over by the officials on Trevor Brush, and then the Tigers had a great drive before halftime. So demoralizing to miss the field goal before half, and maybe just got the Tigers started off on a bad path for the second half because they certainly haven't responded much.
Scoring drives for the Tigers in these last three games have been few and far between. With this 14-point performance they've matched, they've scored 14 points in their last two games, and they'll drop now to 1-1 on their last two. 28 points combined in their last three matchups, and the Tigers, after starting the season 2-0, are now 3-4 as they head into the final week of the season. Richmond keeps this one on the ground. That one fielded by Slaughter.
Fielded by number 25.
1:12 to go. You'd expect the Saints to just drop to a knee a few times and end this one. So the Saints will improve to 6-1 on the season. Their only loss coming to St. James, which is an opponent that the Tigers beat. So in the amazing world of high school football, the Tigers beat St. James beats Aquinas, Miege beats the Tigers by 40, and now Aquinas comes out and they will handle the Tigers likely by 30. In victory formation, as they call it, Terrell has 3 timeouts, but no need to use them. So this is where we'll finish the broadcast now. Final score, 44-14. The Tigers fall to the Saints here at St. Thomas Aquinas. Sean Carroll in the rushing game was just too much for Blue Valley tonight. Signing off, I've been Brady Alderson with my good friend Ryan Barbosa.